The fitness world can be a scary and confusing place, with each influencer giving different advice from the last and shilling their own workout supplements with almost every single TikTok and YouTube video they upload. Outside of the fitness world is even worse, with fast food chains advertising their products to children and claiming their food is unprocessed and high quality. If you're anything like me, you're probably getting sick of it, and so is Abbew, a former professional bodybuilder who started a tirade against everyone from big supermarkets, so-called health products, and reacting to the biggest influencers in the online world. But many people are digging into his upfront and no BS approach to fitness and calling his advice
pure shit.
Despite this, he's showed no signs of slowing down his conquest in the name of health. But who is Eddie, who's changing the perception of health and fitness one TikTok at a time? Born in Ghana in 1967, Eddie grew up in England and since a young age has always been in love with sports and his health. But this love turned into an obsession when he discovered weights at the age of 16, which was a spark to ignite his bodybuilding training. He rose to prominence in the world of bodybuilding in the mid-90s when he won the 1997 British Bodybuilding Championships. He continued to train consistently and compete in different shows, including a 2006 show in Romania where he was actually mistaken for the legendary Ronnie Coleman by children on the street. However, the next peak of his career wouldn't be until 2007 when he competed on the Mr. Olympia stage alongside legends such as Jay Cutler and even Ronnie Coleman. Unfortunately for Eddie, he came 13th in the competition, but even placing in the competition is a mammoth achievement in itself. Since then, he's quit competing and has opened a popular gym in London. Despite Eddie competing in the biggest bodybuilding competition in history, he's arguably more known for his online personality, which is exactly what you're all here for. The online fitness world can be an incredible resource for people who are starting out at the gym. There's ex-bodybuilders, fitness coaches, personal trainers, and more, all sharing their sage advice on how you can build muscle, lose weight, and lead a healthy lifestyle. Big supermarkets have even started to cash in on this massive surge of health consciousness by releasing massive ranges of health foods and protein products. However, like most things, there's been a rise of influencers abusing the trust that their followers and consumers put into them, and in Eddie's eyes, selling you products that could genuinely put your kids' lives in danger. The big supermarkets are the worst offenders though, according to Eddie, with a meteoric rise in protein products including yogurts, milks, cereals, and chocolate bars, all fortified with protein. To the average person, this probably just looks like a convenient way that you can get more protein in and hit your daily goals. And in reality, there's nothing wrong with eating these products. However, according to Eddie, they are fucking shit. They are apparently filled with ingredients that are killing you from the inside out, and they are awful ways of getting your protein in. Eddie Abbew, armed with his wealth of fitness knowledge, decided that he had seen enough. He has burst onto the online scene and has gained nearly 1 million followers on his TikTok account with his outbursts and outrage rants about health foods and kicking off at the fast food restaurants which are targeting kids. Unlike a lot of influencers, he's not afraid about making enemies and gives the most outrageous takes about health and fitness.
The reason why you're fat, it's not because you're eating too much or you're not doing enough. Listen, instead of counting calories, you've got enough calories on you. If you're carrying 30 pounds of body fat, that's 100,000 calories. Learn how to use this. They're lying to you in the fitness industry.
The biggest fast food chains in the world, KFC and McDonald's, both feel most of his rage, with him explaining that KFC stands for killing fucking children. The core of his TikTok account is him going into big supermarkets and criticizing almost every single item on the shelves, including simplicities such as bread and milk, explaining that bread shouldn't have this many ingredients. He doesn't really give any explanation as to why they're bad, other than listing random ingredients and calling them shit, but he says it with so much passion that people listen.
Half enough, half shit and half shit. Guys, wake the f up. Bake your own bread or get your bread from the f***ing bakery. This is not f***ing food. Look at the f***ing ingredients. Bread's supposed to have 4 ingredients in it. Water, salt, yeast, flour. This is f***ing shit. Wake up.
Eddie even went as far to attack a northern institution, which I feel personally attacked by, when he went after Greg's Bakery. After walking into the bakery, he tore every single product in there to shreds, claiming it's all sugary shit and basically not suitable for human consumption.
Guys, let's go to Greg's. As you walk in, you can smell the sugar in there. And here's food, and look at it, look at that. That's no food.
His videos have got so popular that with his foul-mouthed rants, he's actually been kicked out of multiple supermarkets as they deem him bad for business. So to get round these banning orders, he needs to don a disguise. Nothing will stop Eddie from spreading his message. But what is his message? We know what we shouldn't eat, but what does Eddie tell us that we should eat? For every video Eddie releases criticizing health foods, he releases another alongside with genuine fitness advice and explaining how you should be eating to get into the best shape of your life. He makes the point that you should be eating whole foods with as little unknown ingredients as possible. His favorite food by far are eggs, which he eats 10 a day of. Some of his most popular videos are actually food comparisons, with him comparing superfoods such as sweet potatoes to sweets, which have been marketed to children. And as it turns out, Eddie isn't alone in his love towards whole foods, with multiple online communities cropping up with people wanting to change their lifestyles and stars such as Erling Haaland turning to a whole food diet. Eddie does have a very blunt way of going about it, but he does raise some good points. There is an obesity crisis going on worldwide, especially in the US and the UK, where his videos are aimed at, and the more awareness we can raise and support we can give can only be seen as a positive. However, as was to be expected when he's controversial as he is, he's drawn criticism from all angles. People claim that Eddie will be fueling a pandemic of food anxiety, which is a fear of being judged for what you eat, terrified of being seen as unhealthy, and other similar fears. This isn't too unfounded, and many people have made jokes about the extremes of Eddie's advice, with one person commenting, "Eddie, I've just had a glass of water. How long do I have left to live?" He's also grown a slightly strange following of people who are more likely to take advice from a random TikTok video than from their doctor, who has more likely spent around a decade learning their craft and dedicating their lives to helping people. One commenter on his videos claimed that doctors haven't a clue, which is a slightly worrying comment on a health and fitness TikTok page, especially considering that Eddie himself used to be a nurse and presumably learned a lot from doctors during this time. In an unexpected turn of events, he actually called out Greg Doucette, calling him a fucking bird and a fucking prick. Greg didn't take too kindly to this, as you would expect, and told his audience that Eddie doesn't know the science and that he goes by what he feels like saying.
I mean, he's really like a muscled up Eric Berg. The only thing is he doesn't actually have the science background to study this stuff in detail. He doesn't read all the studies. At least I don't think so, because why does he not quote them? Notice when I make videos, oftentimes you'll see studies that are being listed. We go by the facts. Eddie goes by what he feels like saying, and for some people it works.
Eddie even says that to lose weight, you don't need to be in a calorie deficit, and that the advice you've been given on the subject is complete bullshit.
Years we've all been told that to lose weight, you got to make sure that your expenditure is exceeding your input, blah, 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 and you got to count calories, move more. Guys, that's bullshit.
He says that's bullshit. To lose weight, now hear me out, you need to be in a calorie deficit. That is the only way you're going to lose weight. And if you do lose weight, it was because you're in a deficit.
Essentially, Coach Greg, with his wealth of knowledge and degrees in health and fitness, destroys Eddie's advice, which I will make a full video on very soon. And Coach Greg isn't the only one catching on to the fact that a lot of Eddie's advice is actually incorrect and way too extreme. Eddie's claims that you can fix basically anything with your diet are completely unfounded, with Eddie claiming that acne and mental health problems didn't exist in his time, and that they are the result of junk food and fast food diets, which is obviously completely untrue. Members of the ultra-processed subreddit, who are staunch followers of a lifestyle Eddie also follows, have even called him out for taking it too far. One user called him a conspiracy theorist with a scathing comment. He talks a lot of rubbish, never backs it up with science, and to top it all off, takes steroids while purporting that chocolate is the devil. The guy's a tin foil hat merchant at best and a con man at worst. If you can look past the pseudoscience and homeopathic content, Eddie is sharing an overall positive message, which is to eat better. Even if you don't follow his exact plans, even if you don't want to eat 10 eggs a day, every person watching his videos can take something away from them. However, alongside with most of the fitness industry and most of his comments section, I think he does take his methodology way too far, and people who don't see past this online persona will take this advice to heart and begin to think that eating a sneaky Kit Kat will make your teeth fall out and send you to hospital. Although he could take a less controversial way of expressing himself, this is what gains clicks and ultimately catches your attention. And just like Coach Greg, Eddie knows that you need to play into this and has crafted this online persona with the ultimate goal to help and inspire people, and to sell his workout plan and books. And if you want to see more about people changing the online fitness landscape, click the video that's on your screen now to see how Joey Swole has been tackling toxic gym culture, and I'll see you in the next one.
And so highly recommend you go and follow Big Craig, 31,000 followers.